Hey, what's up studs? Ryan here, or MandRproductions, with my review of the LEGO Harry Potter 2020 Diagon Alley, releasing September 1st, 2020, with set number 75978. The official name is just simply Diagon Alley, and the piece count, although this is a European-style box, is 5,544 for a total price of $400 in the United States. Now, LEGO did send me this set for free to review, so huge shout out to them for hooking me up with this early copy of the Diagon Alley, which I must say I'm not super sold on from the box art. It just looks like a pretty dull day, but I think that's kind of like what London looks like in general, like that. So, I mean, it makes sense that the box art isn't super vibrant, but the buildings certainly are. You have multiple buildings from Diagon Alley here, and that's going to be something that I think a lot of people are going to be interested in. There's many more buildings than there were on the previous version of LEGO Diagon Alley from 2011. This set also has a ton of minifigures here, and we are going to go through each and every one of them in a moment, but you can see there's just so many to choose from, which is awesome. To me, it's also great that they didn't go micro scale with this. They do have the $400 micro scale Hogwarts, which is great, but this is kind of a modular style build with many different buildings and not micro scale, notably. So this is more of a play set slash display set, like display it from the front, play with it from the back type of thing, versus something like the $400 Hogwarts set, which is really just for display. And I kind of like having both options here. You get a great shot of the inside there on the front of the box, as well as a measurement. It's over 3 feet long. That's about a meter long there, or a yard long, depending on where you live. And that's insane for how long this set is when it's actually all connected up. Now, as much as I, and maybe even you, like Harry Potter, I don't know all the building names, and you may not either, but luckily the back of the box is here to help. It goes ahead and names everything for you: Ollivander's Wand Shop and Scribblus, the Quality Quidditch Supplies, and the Daily Profit. You have the Flourish and Blots and Ice Cream Parlor, and you have Weasley's Wizard Wheezes and Nocturne Alley. So you just have a small bit for Nocturne Alley there, but still really nice here on the back of the box. You get another shot of the front just in its full layout there without it kind of being tilted away from you. You can see another shot there of some interior spaces on the Diagon Alley. And then even the top of the box gets in the game here with more shots of the inside and all the figures up there. So pretty insane set. Let's unbox this thing. As it is a rather large box, you'll find 3, count them, 3 tape seals, like so. We'll open her up, and you can see they're going to have a box within a box, which is going to hold a large number of pieces in here as well, and then the rest of the part bags will be loose within this box. Substantial amount of parts here. Looks like this is all the back end bags, so like bag number 10 through 20 here, or something like that. And so it looks like if you're going to be getting this set, you're actually going to, maybe 9 through 20, you're going to be able to open up this white box first. It'll have all the first section parts, and then for the latter half of your build, you're going to want to get these parts. But let me get these out of the way so I can show you what's in the white box. Here we are. Again, a ton of, oh my goodness. And here are the base plates. Now, this is the first time in a long time that LEGO has included base plates in a set, and this was a set that desperately needed it. It was one of my fundamental issues, I feel like, with the original Diagon Alley. It was something that could have been used to make it so much better, and in this case, LEGO conceded and actually did something really cool here to make it better. You don't see base plates in LEGO sets often, but really cool to see them start to return. I don't know what this is. Do I open it now? It says 21, so it seems to be intended to be after the last bag. Ooh, I like this. But I don't know what's in here, and I want to know, but I don't want to... Ooh, I want to know, but I don't want to wait. Do I have to wait? Alright guys, you gotta stay to the end of the video to see what this is. You gotta stay to the end to see what this is. It'll be a hook for both of us. It'll make me want to finish the build faster, and it'll make you watch longer, I guess. So, that's that. And here we go. We have a giant bag of instruction manuals. Looks like 4 separate manuals, so I would assume each manual has a different section, as you can see there on the front of the instructions. So you could actually do this as a multi-person build here. You can get your family or friends together and just build different sections at the same time, and that seems like it'd be fun. Ton of stickers in this set as well. As you can see, multiple sticker sheets, probably 1 sticker sheet for each instruction manual again there. So I'm gonna get building, and I'll see you guys with the minifigs when I have it all done. There's 14 minifigures in this set, so I'm going to try to be relatively quick. I'm just not going to give too much personal thoughts and analysis on each one, but I'll at least give you the full 360 on everybody. This is Hagrid here with his pink umbrella. I don't believe we're seeing any changes from any of the more recent modern Hagrids that we've seen. He always looks quite ridiculous when you remove his whole beard assembly there, but no double-sided face as you're not really seeing any expressions, and that's fine. Hagrid, a nice addition for the set, and makes sense. Fred Weasley up here next. Of course, his twin George will be the next figure, but he's got the W on his tie right up there under his suit, which is a nice little touch for the details. I also love the little stripes they have on the suit. You'll see no leg printing, no arm printing. It's just got kind of a classic simplicity for a LEGO minifigure with these Fred and George figures here. They have the ginger hair, of course, nice simple little back print, and you do have nice expressions on this character here. We'll remove that hairpiece and you'll be able to see the second one is a nice smirk. George Weasley does have a slightly different torso print. You can see some differences in the color there between Fred and he does also have different facial prints, so we can take that hairpiece off and you'll see the second face on the back there. It just looks like a really solid laugh, so you can see those two figs have some subtle differences, which is nice. Continuing with the Weasley family, we have Molly Weasley, who is their mother. Looks great here with the purple fur or cloth or whatever that's supposed to be just kind of bursting through the outer shirt there. Looks pretty wild. You also have a nice little hood on the back for the print there, and her hairpiece that I believe we also saw on the attack on the Burrows set. She does have a second facial expression on the back. You're not seeing a lot there. Honestly, they make her face look a little bit too chubby, in my opinion. I don't know why, but it makes it look like she's actually really fat when I don't think she's actually really fat. So yeah, I always thought her face looks too chubby and LEGO didn't really tone it down here. Just a lot of lines on the face. Here's Ginny Weasley, and I'm going to be honest, I do not like the way this figure looks, like, at all. She looks kind of ridiculous. I don't know. They just didn't capture the look that great to me. Also, her face print is notably, you can see how it's not, like, super solid there. If you look like to the edge of the black, it's not like a solid line. It definitely, you can see some of the skin kind of poking through there, and that's because it's just not a high-quality print for whatever reason. I've been noticing that on LEGO figures a lot lately, and if we remove that hairpiece, you'll see she does have a smile on the backside, but still, I don't know. I don't love this figure. Nice pink outfit, I guess. Here's Ron Weasley in his Hogwarts attire here, and he's got a very scared face. I'm not 100% sure, but part of me thinks that was in Aragog's lair back in the summer of 2018, although it may be a new face print. I'm just not 100% sure on all my face print details. He has a hood on the back as well, and if we remove his hairpiece, which is a really fitting one for him, unlike the Ginny, I don't know, for whatever reason, I don't like that Ginny hairpiece. You can see his face on the second side is a much happier one than we have with this very scared face print. It does have those nice sand blue legs, which is a small thing, but I believe in the instructions when I was building him, he did not have sand blue legs, but you give him sand blue legs. It looked weird in the instructions. I don't know. It was just something I noticed. Hermione Granger up next, looked quite wonderful, again in the Hogwarts style attire here. Nice hairpiece, got the hood print on the back, and is going to have two face prints if we take off that hairpiece. Harry Potter here with a crazy looking face print. I believe, again, the same Hogwarts attire that we've seen with the two previous characters. They did a great job with the print on this, and I believe it's supposed to be a face representative of his attempt to use the flu network. I'm pretty sure. His other face is perfectly fine, though, and the scar will be seen at the top on both faces. But I love the dirty, mucked up look that they've given him there. I think that's a really smart use of that print. It looks great, actually. It really does. I love the broken glasses as well. Nice touch. Draco Malfoy in his Slytherin attire with the nice slicked back blonde hair. A very angry look because he's kind of the bad guy for Harry Potter in this case. It gives you something to fight against, I guess. And he's got a nice inquisitive look as his second face print. So you get nice change between the two. Here we have Lucius Malfoy, and he's got a wonderful torso print. I always love continuity on torso prints, and this one is great as it goes to the torso, to the waist, to the legs. Perfect in that way. He's got kind of his walking stick, I believe, here. And then you also have that nice blonde hair, same color as Draco, obviously, but much, much longer. And removing that will reveal his back print, which matches that front print with kind of that fur look to it. You can see that instead of like one of the Hogwarts hoods that we've been seeing. And then he does not have a second facial print, which is a little bit disappointing. Like, I usually don't care, but you would think that a figure like this would have a second face print. I don't know why not, for no particular reason, but he doesn't, so that's the look you get. Gilderoy Lockhart here is a great figure. I think this is going to be a big draw for a lot of people. He's got a stunning purple outfit and a little bit of gold to boot there. The inside of his cape is gold, but he does have a two-tone cape, so the other side is purple. It's that matching purple color, and that's great. I remember we've had this on a couple of Lando minifigures, and now we're seeing it here on this guy. So it's great. I love that little bit of extra detail that you get on a character like this. And for his first face print here, he is just sweating bullets. I love that. I think it's a great look for him. And then if you want to switch it up, make him look a little bit more sinister, I would say, you go with that one. So great figure. And again, I love the gold on him. I love the two-tone cape. It's just a really nice one. Here we have Ollivander, and I think LEGO captured the look pretty dang good. They got his red coat on there with the gray pants. Kind of disappointed we don't see any like leg print with him, but I guess it makes sense. It's probably would just be something very simple, much like with the Weasley brothers. The back print is solid and adequate, and then the hairpiece obviously shows like his hairline is receding, which is awesome. And then if you remove it, you will have a second face under there, which is a little bit of an inquisitive look, I would say. So you get a couple options for that face print, but really wonderful, wonderful Ollivander figure here. Coming in with the same hairpiece as Ollivander, just a different color, is Florian Flortescu. I probably butchered that. This is the name that I had the highest chance of butchering, and here we are. So it's a nice looking figure, though. I believe he belongs in the ice cream shop, and he looks like he belongs. He got the nice suit, of course, with the little bow tie there, nice little pattern on it, and I like the orange color for the arms. It kind of sets him apart quite a bit there. He's got his gold glasses there, and if we take that hairpiece off, you will see a second face print there with a much happier look. I actually much prefer the happier look to this like depressed look. I don't know why he's got a depressed look, but he does. I'd go with the happier look if you're just going for like a display with this guy. And finally, the Daily Prophet Photographer. You can get a great look at that torso print and face print. The camera is great looking there. It's a pretty bulky camera, but it makes sense. Have him hold it the way they kind of show him holding it on the box and whatnot. But really, I think the highlight for a lot of people is going to be that hat with hair, kind of 2-in-1 mold there. That is great looking, really cool looking piece there. And then you can see that's his second face print on the other side. Get the two options there. So not too shabby looking with this figure. There's a better look at the inside of that if you're curious how that works. And finally, here we are. Obviously, only a few minutes in video time have elapsed. However, a few days in real time for me have elapsed, and I found myself very excited thinking about this day after day as I built the set, and I was like, man, I need to finish the set so I can get to box number 21 and find out what's inside. And so, of course, I finished the build here on page 219, and there is no indication that you're done, right? Like, obviously, you're out of pieces, or there's just extra pieces on the table, but as you do, you just keep flipping. And so, when you have this set, if you buy this set, you don't want to know what's in this box, I'll put a timestamp on screen so you can skip ahead. I don't want to ruin the surprise for you if you don't want it ruined, because it was ruined for me. And although, I guess you still are getting a surprise by flipping the page, right? It just seems really silly to me that LEGO went to such great lengths to do... This is really cool. Like, don't get me wrong. I think this is wonderful. I hope they do this more, but they need to add a stopper in the instruction manual that says, hey, you're at this part of the instructions that's a secret and is really cool, and we want you to experience it the way that it was originally intended, like that we put it in the set in this box just so you could experience it like that, and they don't. So let's open this up. LEGO did ruin this surprise. It's a shame. It's still really cool, but they did ruin it. So inside here, we get Hagrid, who is advertised on the box, but we also get a very special, exclusive Harry Potter minifigure, which I notably skipped during the minifigure section so that you wouldn't know what was coming. So now that you know what's in the box, to better explain why it's such a big thing, you get this page where you're building and you're going along, and you just, as instinct goes, flip to the next page, and oh, that's what's in the box. Oh no, now you know. Why not keep it a secret? Why not have a whole page that's like, hey, stop here, Now it's time to do this special box that we included, and then on the next page have it, or better yet, have a little instruction manual inside of the box. That's what I was assuming it was going to be, and so it hadn't even crossed my mind that if I get to the back of the instruction manual, it would be there. And that little thing there, yes, way in the distance, is the finished little build out of box 21, and Hagrid was in the 21st box. However, I did show him during the minifigure section. The minifigure that comes in this, that is not advertised on the box, not counted towards the minifigure count in the set, so there's actually 15 figures. But I believe this is the Harry Potter from his first visit to Diagon Alley, and he does have the same face print as the other Harry with the flu powder from the Flu Network mishap on him there. We have a printed tile here, a 6x6 tile. It says, "Welcome, Harry, to Diagon Alley," from Rubius Hagrid from LEGO Harry Potter. And that's printed, which is great to see. Love to see LEGO do more printed stuff like that, but time will tell. It's basically just a little figure stand. We've seen this in a lot of these larger sets recently from LEGO D2Cs, and this isn't really like a surprising build. It's less exciting than what I was hoping for out of the box, to be honest, but still a nice addition to the set, and one that you probably didn't expect. I didn't. So all of these buildings, and it's the first time I've ever owned a set like this, is very modular-like. It's very much like those LEGO Creator modular sets that you get every year. However, it's for Harry Potter, and I think that's awesome. So you'll definitely notice that throughout the builds. You can see they make great use of the base plates, just starting out here. You have some stones and such on the pathway or the roadway, and then a little sidewalk there in tan. And there are some studs, so you can actually have minifigures stand on the sidewalk pretty easily, which is great. I think that's a really nice bit about the set. But you have the Scribulous Writing Increment Shop, and then Ollivander's Wand Shop over here. There are a ton of stickers on this set, as you saw with the sticker sheets earlier on. And it is kind of hard to get some of them to line up perfectly, but definitely is a set worth taking your time whilst putting the stickers on. You can see there's just so many of them, and you definitely don't want to mess any of them up. You want to make sure you take your time and get everything proper, because there's so many nice, fun little details. But the front of these buildings look wonderful. There's so many details. It's so lifelike, much like what you see in the movie, and I really love that. It's also really cool how it kind of cuts really simply there as you go from one building to another. And I also love that each section includes 2 buildings, except I think the Weasley section, but we'll get to that. You get a couple of owls up top here, and then you actually have Hedwig here, who's on a clear piece being held out, holding the Daily Prophet about the boy who lived. So you get that newer style Hedwig figure that we started seeing here in 2020. A pair of chimneys on top of Ollivander's, a singular chimney on the Scribulous building. There are doors on each of these you can push in to open, which is nice, albeit you're not really going to be using the doors too much. And you also find Technic pins throughout the set, and then open Technicals in other areas, which is where you're going to actually be able to connect the buildings together. And we'll get to that when I've shown you all 4 buildings. So you can see there are 4 pretty distinct rooms, and something ingenious LEGO has done here with the staircase inside Ollivander's is it actually swivels in and out as you need it. So if you don't need it, you can just hide it in there if you need it to be hidden, so you can actually have a flush back to put it up against a wall for whatever for display. When you want it, you can slide the staircase out, and that's really nice in there. You also have these wand boxes, which I believe are new. I don't think I've seen them before. They're displayed really smartly on this set, though, and they jut in and out. And if we look at one of these, they actually open up. They're basically a 1x3 brick, and they hold the wand. So that's really cool to see. I don't believe we've seen that from LEGO Harry Potter before, but definitely something cool, and you get quite a few of them in this set. Looking closer in on Ollivander's, you can see a cash register with a little quill, and then a piece of writing down to the left of it. More wand boxes and such all up in there on the bottom floor. Pretty spacious. And then the top floor has a desk with a drawer pulled out, which is actually really smart part usage there. And then you also have a chair, which can swivel in the corner. And then I put Ollivander up there on his ladder, getting down some wands, potentially for Harry to look at. You have on the writing shop side, you have a nice little fireplace, kind of a nightstand, and then basically it's like a study room. You can sit down on the couch and read a book or whatever, or write a book. And then down here I put Hermione at the desk there. Actually a piece of writing there in the window on the Scribulous shop, which is nice. But honestly, the writing shop is a little bit less exciting to me than the other ones. This place is pretty poppin' though at Ollivander's Wand Shop. They did a killer job with this one. Our next building is very pink on the top. It's the Quality Quidditch Supplies and the Daily Profit building here. Kind of the same layout for the road and sidewalk. You have the golden snitch there, kind of in front of the Quidditch shop. Then you even have a little banner up there. Same with the Daily Profit on the right here. Moving down to the stores though, you actually have some printed bricks here. These are on the clear, very large clear bricks here, and they look wonderful for the windows. I think they did a great job with that. The Daily Profit obviously has much less street space here, but still very clean looking. The door just with a giant sticker, and then nice detailing to get like the shaping of the little cutout for the roof basically of each of those. Side of the Quidditch shop has a "Have you seen this wizard?" sign. And then looking to the top, we have more Daily Profit, The Boy Who Lived newspapers. We have a ton more in here, as well as a rat with cheese. I think this might be Scabbers, although I'm not 100% sure. It doesn't say that on the box or anything, but you can imagine what you want it to be. I just think it's a really cool thing. Mostly for kids, they'll see this and be like, oh my god, that's so cool, it's a rat and he's trying to eat cheese. I just think that's cool for that fact. And then you also have this little hatch here, which can open to allow characters to enter and exit, or the rat, or Scabbers, to enter and exit that. I also really love the space between floors here. So you can see this, essentially the third floor, you have this brown space here, and you have the same thing here going from the second down to the first floor. And I think that's really smart looking. It creates a nice space in between that makes it look like it's actually a building, and I love that. So that's really cool to see. You can see on this top level of the Quidditch store, you have a little mannequin. It says, feel free to test fly any of our brooms, and then you have like the batons and stuff in there, as well as some clothing, apparel. You got Ron Weasley up here. Looking to the bottom, you'll have another mannequin, as well as I think the Nimbus 2000 broom on display. I'm pretty sure that's what that's supposed to be. You have the quality Quidditch store lettering. You have some more batons on the left here on display, more clothing behind Ginny and Molly Weasley, and that's really it for that shop. Not too much going on, but still, I love the detail that they put into that, and I think that's wonderful. And then the Daily Profit, a very small building, hardly fit a figure in there, and I didn't put a figure in there because I want to be able to look at the sticker in there, and that should give you a great look at everything if you want to pause and read a particular article there on the wall. But they put a ton of little details on there, and then you have more Daily Profits inside this little box in the room. And then if you look up, there's a spider in the ceiling. Yeah, that's scary. Our next building is comprised of the Flourish and Blotts bookstore, as well as the ice cream parlor. And this is another one that I love. Okay, so my favorite part about this entire thing, and maybe some of you guys will be like, why would you do that? Like, why that? It's so trivial. But these chairs just really sell the ice cream shop on a city street look, right? I think it just really fits perfectly, and it's great part usage with like those. They're usually used for like teeth and animals for Lego stuff, but it works perfectly there. And I love that the chairs just look so great on the street there, and they're so open. You can pick them up and move them as you please. I could put ice cream on the table there. It just looks wonderful. I really like the striping there. Then you look over to the right, we have the Flourish and Blotts bookstore. You have a few different stickers saying different things on the panels of the bookstore there. You have a very nice window. Like the street appearance of all these buildings is just so wonderful. Everything kind of juts out, and there's so many nice little angles and details, and it's such a fun, intricate build. As I was building this, it's a really fun build. It's a long build at 5,500 pieces, but it's a fun build, and that's worth noting. We also have Harry Potter being handed a book here. You can see the book there. There's actually a couple of those books included in the set. Magical Me. So if you're interested in that, that is included in the set. Another wanted poster, and flipping it all the way into the back here, we have another staircase, which can fold up for when you need to have it up against a wall or whatever for display so that nothing is jutting out, but when you actually want to use it, there you go. And there's that book again, a much larger version of the book, Gilderoy Lockhart, Magical Me. I also really like the pillaring in the bookstore, so you kind of, the way that works is basically you have this balcony on the second floor, and it's got to be held up by something, so they have a pillar here, and that looks great. You have dragons and alchemy. Dragons down here, alchemy to the right. Upstairs here, I put Draco and Lucius Malfoy. You have a little book open over there, a lamp maybe to read it by, some books stacked, some more books in a bookshelf, and it's so great how they use the pieces to make it look like there's actually books on a bookshelf, right? Like, it's pretty crazy how realistic that looks at this scale. So that's the bookshop. And then over to the ice cream parlor here. I recently went to the one at Universal Studios, and this is pretty spot on to what I remember, like the floor being the checkered pattern and everything. You have the ice cream 2-day suggestions, chocolate with peanut butter, black beer, and raisin bat juice, and earwig. The counter's nice. You have a nice little display area and everything. Kind of small, but still very nice. And you have a nice little room above that as well with an orange chair, a lamp, some drinks and whatnot. So very nice space there, and no real like play features, but still like good dollhouse type play if you really want to play with this. I almost forgot to mention there's this desk included with the bookstore. It's there. It doesn't really fit anywhere. You have to kind of display it outside of the bookstore when you want to use it because there's not space for it inside of it, but it's included. And our final section includes Weasley's Wizard Wheezes, as well as Nocturne Alley. And Nocturne Alley does seem kind of like an afterthought to this, but it's really just supposed to be this small little thing. And I guess it's open to the possibility that in the future they include like an addition that has Nocturne Alley, or they build something that is Nocturne Alley. It would be really cool to see. But as of now, obviously this is all there is. It's just kind of this brick wall. It says Nocturne Alley, and you have like a crooked window up there. It's pretty neat. Like, I like it. It fits in nicely, and you'll see when you close all the buildings around it. It is pretty cool. But still nothing really of substance there, unfortunately. You do have a couple different entrances to Weasley's Wizard Wheezes, and it's pretty cool. Like, this is awesome. You can open both doors. One on that side, one on this side. And these can end up a little bit crooked, so you can adjust them pretty easily on the fly if you have to, but they still look wonderful. I love the segmented look of all of these windows. It just creates such a complete look. And the orange contrasts very well with the purple. Obviously, the roof on top is very simple. There's nothing really going on up there. But what's really cool is you have the giant Weasley mannequin or whatever here, and you can see they put some stickers and whatnot on him to make him look as detailed as possible. And there's actually a nice lever up top here that you can have the hat move up and down, just like in the movie. So I love that feature as well. You can see tons of little stickers on here, different little slogans, always a wheeze guaranteed. You have the name, you have shenanigans for all, you have petrifying products. So pretty cool little things and details on this little building here. And then you have Jinx off, you have the W for Weasley, and then Dark Mark as your stickers on the side of the building. Some balloons poking out the back, which you can actually just fold in and then disconnect because these are going to get in the way if you really need to fold the building up against a wall or whatever in your house for display. I love the railing supports and the colors that they have. It's so amazing, the orange and the sand green and then that pink color. It just looks wonderful. Down on the first floor, you have a ton of different potions and different bits and bobs and products that they're selling. It's really awesome to see. You have the cash register, and like I said, I recently went to the Universal Studios version of this, and this is pretty spot on. The theming is just amazing. You have some lollipops, I want to say, in that cauldron in the corner. You can see the dancing Doxy right there. In the second floor, you can see Fred Weasley's basic blaze box, and there's plenty of those in stock, ready to ship. You can see even more details and things on that second level there, including a nice corner shelf right there behind the big Weasley guy there. And then moving all the way up to the top floor, I kind of wish, because, you know, you can still fit your hand in here and it's fine, but I wish this whole thing could like pop open on the top so you could more easily access this third floor. I just think that would be great, but you got a couple micro scale Lego figures back there, more Weasley boxes, and it looks like a gem or whatever up on that third floor. I love this Weasley building though. It's wonderfully themed, and I love that they have the character on the corner here. They perfectly built it, and I think this is a testament to one of those things in this set that is really going to be a staple for a lot of people, and it also goes to show you just how many things Lego can do with a set like this. There's so many fun building techniques in this set that make you just go, well, that's really cool as you're building it. And I think that that's an important aspect to mention about this set. It's also worth mentioning this heart-like fountain is included in the Weasley section, but much like the desk from the bookstore, it doesn't really fit anywhere. They just have you build it and put it outside. So, thanks to those Technic pins that I mentioned earlier, putting all of these together is going to be a breeze. You literally just place them together. They actually go together surprisingly easy. Obviously, you do not want to try to pick this up with any of them connected. That's why they can be put together and pulled apart so easily. You can see it becomes an absolute monster when put together at about 40 inches long, or 100 centimeters. That's just about 1.04 yards or a meter and all the measurements you could possibly want to know. This is such a long build. It is pretty incredible and would not fit on my shelves back there. So at least all together as it is shown to you on the table now. So if you do want to display it like this, do get the measurements and plug it into whatever space you have and see if it's going to work for you, or work out a space that's going to work for it in your space. So that's important with this set. It's one of those sets where it's like, hey, actually, we need to think about how we're going to display this if we're going to buy it. So I definitely would say think about that when going into something like this. But seeing it all together is amazing. I love the look of this with it all connected together, and it would look so incredible, like I mentioned, with Nocturne Alley, if they were to perhaps make a future addition to the back side of this. And there are Technic pins that attach to the back, but that's not really indicative of what we may see in the future, because those Technic pins are to allow you to attach the buildings back to back if you'd like. But looking down the street here, you can just see how immense this set is. There's just so much you can do with it. You can have so much fun with it. I just really believe this is one of the better Harry Potter sets they have ever made, and looking down that street really affirms that to me. I just love this. It's so cool with Hagrid and Harry and Nocturne Alley. And then unfortunately, if you want to put all the figures in the display, you end up with this weird looking display panel here with the Welcome to Diagon Alley and then no figures on it. So that's maybe the one little downside you could make to that. But this build is just so cool. And you split it up, basically $100, $100, $100, and $100, so $100 per section. It makes sense to me. Like, you look at that and it feels like it's worth that amount of money for each section. Each section is unique in its own way, obviously. It brings a lot of fun to the table. Each section uses minifigures in different ways that are fun, and I think that's great. I love the build process of this. It's one of the more fun LEGO builds I've done in a while, and it does, like I said, allow for you to build with your friends, because it includes manuals that build each of the buildings or sections at a time. So you can separate the manuals and separate the bags, and you're going to be good to go in that aspect, and I think that's wonderful. The omission of Gringots is perhaps my biggest gripe with this set. We did see it in the 2011 version of Diagon Alley. However, not seeing it here really was a bit of a letdown. I would have loved to have seen a new edition of Gringots Bank, and hey, maybe that comes in a future set as its own standalone thing, but unfortunately we just don't see it here in the actual Diagon Alley. That being said, this set has to be like a 9.5, 9.6 out of 10. It is as close to perfect and fun as you can get with a LEGO set like this. It even includes a mystery Harry Potter build as bag 21 with a minifigure that they don't advertise. Like, that's really cool. I would love to see that infiltrate more themes. Star Wars, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, please. I'd love to see stuff like that there. Like, it was such a cool and fun experience building this set, and I think that you should experience that too if you do seem to like the set. It's going to be worth that $400. This thing is massive. Like, there's no way around that. It's got so much fun interior space, so much love and attention to detail was put into every bit of this set, and I just really feel like it ends up being such a satisfying thing to finish building and put on display or play with if that's your gig. So here's one last look at the minifigs, guys. Let me know what you think about the set in the comments below, because I'm in love with it. And remember, LEGO did send me this for free, so take that for what it's worth to you, but I really like this set, and I would have bought it anyway if they hadn't sent it to me, to be fair. If you enjoyed the video, a like would be greatly appreciated. Subscribe to the channel if you're just visiting for the first time, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.